Hello my dear students and welcome to Zenith Academy Online. My name is Shagufta Jaipuri and today we are on part 6 of the chapter of Physics, Electric Circuits for GCSE O level, that is year 11 students. And in this module we will be studying component characteristics. Students, in our previous video we have studied the current voltage relationship of a resistor, that is we have studied the current voltage graphs, that is VI graph of a resistor, and we saw that the relationship between current and voltage is a linear one, that is why we got a linear graph, and from this graph we can say that resistance is constant at a particular temperature. But if we replace the resistor with any other component, any other electric component, then does the graph remains linear? Does it remains the same? Is the relationship still linear? Let us study. Now, there are various non-ohmic devices. Okay. We have studied that this was giving a linear graph, that is the resistor was an ohmic device. Why was it ohmic? Because it was obeying Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? That voltage and current are directly proportional. So here we can see that they are directly proportional. So resistor is an ohmic conductor. But there are non-ohmic devices also. So many electrical devices have IV characteristics that do not vary in a linear fashion. Such devices are called non-linear as they do not obey Ohm's law. That is why the relationship is not linear. Now what are the examples? Filament lamps, diodes, thermistors, LEDs. So these are all examples of non-ohmic devices. Now the resistance of a non-ohmic device varies with time. That is, the resistance is not constant. In the case of resistor, we saw that resistance was constant. But here resistance is not constant. So let us talk about all these non-ohmic devices one by one. Students, we all know that electric resistance is a result of electrons colliding with ions and losing energy. We all have studied in the previous module of resistance that these electrons collide with ions, they collide with each other, they collide with stable metal ions and they lose energy. And for the case of the filament lamp, if you see this filament lamp, you know there is a filament here. Okay. So in the case of a filament lamp, an increasing voltage causes the temperature of the filament to rise. So when voltage is increased, the temperature increases, and as a result the ions begin to vibrate with greater amplitude. So if temperature is increasing, ions will vibrate with a higher amplitude, and as the number of collisions increases, the resistance increases. So here also with the increase in voltage, the resistance increases, because when voltage is increasing, temperature is increasing, the ions collide with a higher rate and hence the resistance increases because number of collisions have increased. So there is a relationship between temperature and resistance, that if temperature increases, resistance increases. So here you can see the random motion of the electrons. So if temperature is increasing, the collisions, that is the number of collision increases and hence the resistance will increase. Now, see, resistance is directly proportional to temperature in case of filament lamps. So, filament lamp is a common type of light bulb. It contains a thin coil of wire called the filament. So, you can see a thin coil of wire here. This is known as filament. So, there is this type of a coil. Okay, and this is known as filament. It contains a thin coil of wire called filament, and this heats up when an electric current passes through it, and it produces light as a result. The resistance of the lamp increases as the temperature of the filament increases. We know resistance is directly proportional to temperature. The current flowing through a filament lamp is, okay, so the current flowing through a filament lamp is not directly proportional to voltage across it. So voltage and current are not directly proportional here, okay, because this is a non-ohmic device. So, if we plot a potential or voltage and current graph, it is not linear. The shape is something like this. So now you can see I have replaced the resistor in the Ohm's law circuit with a filament lamp, and now if I change the rheostat, I will see a change in ammeter and voltmeter reading, and if I plot it, I'll get a graph something like this. Okay, this is very clear that this relationship is non-linear. Now the atoms of the metal filament vibrate more as the temperature increases, so they resist the passage of electrons through the filament more. Okay, so the resistance is more as the temperature is more. Now reversing the potential difference reverses the current. So when I have reversed the potential difference, that is from positive I went to negative, then what happens? It reverses the current. So current's direction also gets reversed, but it makes no difference to the shape of the curve. The shape of the curve remains same. The resistance is same for the same current regardless of its direction. So when you are reversing the potential difference, what is happening? The direction of the current is changing. So just when you are reversing this potential difference, the direction of the current will change, but this shape remains the same and the resistance is same for the same current regardless of its direction. Now moving on to our next component, that is thermistor. So thermistor looks something like this. You can see there are different types of thermistor. This is a rod thermistor, this is a bead thermistor, and this is a disc thermistor. And its symbol in the circuit is something like this. Okay. So thermistor is a temperature dependent resistor. So it is a resistor, but it is dependent on temperature. It is used in sensor circuits. Okay. So it can sense a very small change in temperature, because a very small change in temperature changes the resistance drastically. So that is why it is used in sensor circuits. Usually its resistance decreases if its temperature increases. So here you can see resistance and temperature are inversely proportional. You should remember in the last case, here in filament lamps, the resistance was directly proportional to temperature, and in case of thermistor, the resistance is inversely proportional to temperature. That is, if the temperature increases, the resistance will decrease, and vice versa. If the temperature decreases, the resistance will increase. So that is why these ends are connected in a circuit, and if there is a small change in temperature, the resistance changes drastically and it will affect the circuit, and we can come to know the change in temperature. That is why it is used in sensor circuits for sensing a small change in temperature. So we know that in a thermistor, resistance is inversely proportional to temperature. So if I replace the resistor in the original Ohm's law circuit and attach a thermistor and keep on changing this rheostat, now if I keep the circuit on, the current will flow like this, and if I note the current and voltage and try to plot a graph, it will not be a linear graph. Now here, since we know that resistance and temperature are inversely proportional, so if I plotted resistance on x-axis and temperature on y-axis, I'll get a graph like this. Okay. Now here we'll take an example. Suppose this was 30 degree and this is 50 degree. Okay. So if I take this down, suppose this is 2 ohms. Now what will happen if temperature is increased? What do you note in resistance? The resistance has decreased. You can say this is, for example, 0.5 ohm. So when I increase the temperature from 30 degree to 50 degree, I saw that the resistance decreased from 2 ohm to 0.5 ohm. This is just a reference I am giving, but for a very small change in temperature, the resistance changes very drastically. So always remember, resistance and temperature are inversely proportional in this case. Moving on to our next component, that is diodes. Diodes are very important. So diodes are electronic components which can be used to regulate the potential difference in a circuit. And it is also used in making logic gates. This you will study in your year 12, that how logic gates are made. Right now you just remember that diodes are helpful to regulate the potential difference. How? Because they allow current only in one particular direction and restricts current in the other direction. So a diode has a very high resistance in one direction. So if it has a high resistance in one direction, it will not allow current to pass through it in that particular direction. This means that current can only flow in the other direction. So if I take the circuit of Ohm's law and replace the resistor with a diode, it will allow current only in this direction, and if we reverse the battery, it will not allow the current. So when I run this circuit, when I change the settings of the rheostat, I will see corresponding change in current and voltage. And if I plot this voltage, that is potential difference with current, I will get a graph something like this. So here also you can see if potential is increasing, current is increasing. Initially there is practically no increase in current when potential is increased. Then slightly here you can see it is some sort of linear relationship. That is, when potential is increased, current keeps on increasing. Then when potential is increased, the current increases very drastically. Okay, so there is a relationship, but this relationship is not linear. The very important points that you should remember for diodes, that when you apply a voltage across two terminals of a diode with higher voltage on anode side and lower voltage on cathode side, we know always that in a circuit, positive is anode, negative is cathode, and positive is always at higher potential and negative is always at lower potential. So when you apply voltage across two terminals of a diode, suppose this is a diode. Okay. So when you apply a voltage across two terminals of a diode with higher voltage on the anode side and lower voltage on the cathode side. So higher voltage is on anode side, lower voltage is on cathode side. Okay. Then forward current, that is current from anode to cathode will flow. So current from anode to cathode will flow, obviously. Okay. So if the voltage increases, now this is important, if the voltage increases, the forward current will increase, and in this way a diode is similar to a resistor, because in resistor also we studied that if voltage increases, current increases. So more voltage leads to more current. However, if we look carefully at the way in which the current increases, okay, we know that potential increases, current increases, but if you look at the way how it is happening, in the way in which the current increases, we see that diodes are very different from resistor. So if we apply a steadily increasing voltage to a resistor, we will obtain a steadily increasing current. So when we increase voltage, current increases in a resistor, and we get a linear graph like this. So if we increase voltage, current increases. Okay, but with a diode on the other hand, a steadily increasing voltage will produce a current that increases slowly at first, then more quickly, and then eventually very quickly. Okay, so the increase in current is not linear with the increase in voltage. It first increases slowly, then more quickly, and eventually very quickly. So initially you see that it is increasing very slowly, or we can say it is a negligible increase. Then it increases rapidly, and here the increase is so rapid that with a very small change in voltage, the current has increased from here to here, right? So this occurs because the relationship between diodes forward voltage and its forward current is exponential. The relationship is exponential rather than linear. So this is a linear relationship and this is an exponential relationship. Now this relation is not in your portion, but still I am telling you that this current is equal to e raised to power 1000 V upon T minus 1. Okay, this relationship is not there, but just to show that V and I have an exponential relationship, I have given this relationship here, where T is the temperature in Kelvin and V is the voltage in volts. So you should remember here that the relationship is exponential rather than linear. Now moving on to our next component, light emitting diode, that is LED. So light emitting diodes and lamps produces light when a current flows through them in the forward direction. Here also the current flows in only one direction, LEDs and lamps are often used for indicator lights in electrical equipments such as computers and television sets. As LEDs use a much smaller current than other types of lighting, their use is increasing nowadays because it consumes a very little amount of electricity. So you know that this is the conventional direction of flow of current. Okay, this way you can represent it like this or this, and this is how it looks. And you all know that it comes in a variety of colors because LED emits light of different wavelengths. Okay, different LEDs emit lights of different wavelengths. So you can see here the voltage and current relationship. Okay, so if I plot voltage and current relationship of a LED, it is something like this. Okay, so different colors have different wavelengths. That is why we have got the graph different for different wavelengths. So this is for infrared, this is for red, amber, yellow, green, blue and white. So these are the different LED type and its colors. Now moving on to our next component, which is also very important, light dependent resistor. Now here you should always remember that resistance is inversely proportional to intensity of light. So here you can see a diagram. So when light falls on it, okay, and if this light intensity is more, okay, light intensity is more, then the resistance that it offers will be less, and you can say that more amount of current flows in the circuit. Okay, so if this is connected in a circuit, then it depends on what? It depends on the intensity of light. So if you plot a graph of light intensity and resistance, it would be something like this. So you can see here, this is for particular light intensity, and if the light intensity increases, okay, say this was morning and this is noon, so light intensity has increased, so resistance has decreased. Here you can see the resistance has decreased. Okay, so the light energy produces more free electrons. Why it happens? Let us see. The light energy produces more free electrons, so when light falls on it, more free electrons are produced, which increases the current for a certain voltage across this LDR. So if light is falling, more free electrons are formed, and if more free electrons are there, it means more current is flowing. Okay, which means a drop in the resistance. Obviously current and resistance are inversely proportional, so if more current is flowing, then it has to be a drop in resistance. And this is a type of resistor which has resistance that changes with temperature. The increasing temperature produces more free electrons, and so the resistance falls. So you can relate it to temperature also. More light intensity means higher the temperature, more free electrons, more current, and less is the resistance. So it depends on temperature also. So for a light dependent resistor, you should always remember that resistance is inversely proportional to light intensity. So can you say, will the resistance be more during daylight or will it be more during late evenings? Yes, during daylight the light intensity is more, so resistance will be less. And during the evening, when light intensity is less, the resistance is more, so less amount of current will pass through the circuit. So if you have connected these devices in a circuit, then more current will flow during daytime or during noon time, where the intensity of light is more. So these are the different graphs of different components. Study them in detail. Okay, the relationships of all of these graphs are very important from examination point of view. So here you can see this is a linear relationship. So this is an ohmic conductor and this is an example of resistor. Here if you see the potential difference and current, you should be able to identify that this is a filament lamp. Now in the thermistor, note that we have not taken VI graph. What is it? We have taken resistance and temperature graph. Okay, I have shown resistance and temperature. This is not VI graph. So we know as temperature increases, okay, resistance decreases. Now this is the VI graph of a diode forward bias. You can see initially there is no change and then there is an exponential change. So this shows an exponential change. Okay, this is light emitting diode. So this is a VI graph of a light emitting diode. Here you can see the relationship is something like this. It is a parabola. and this is a light dependent resistor. Here we have taken light intensity and resistance and not Vi. So resistance decreases with light intensity. So you should keep in mind all these relationships for circuit components, and this was all about this video module. If you have liked it, please give it a thumbs up and write your comments in the comment section below. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, do it right away and don't forget to tap on the bell icon, because we'll be uploading all the videos of physics and chemistry GCSE O level for year 11 and year 12 students. So all the best and keep your learning on. Thank you.